I think I am alive. Fabulous people. All right, let me make sure that I'm sitting where you guys can see me. All right, I'm going to give just a few minutes for everyone to join, but welcome, guys. Welcome to the live for all the babes who create their own life trends. Welcome, those of you who are new to my channel. My name is Anastasia, and we are about to start. One moment, let me see what's going on. Okay, I'm just making sure that everything is set. All right, guys, welcome. Texas, hi, Catherine. All right. So before we begin, I'm going to give just a few kind of not rules, but things for you guys to keep in mind. So if you're watching this video and it's already not live, just so you know, guys, you're more than welcome to ask me all the questions in the comments. I promise to respond. I always try to respond to all of them. So if you're watching this and it's already, the live is over, don't worry, because a lot of you always reach out and they say, oh no, I missed your live, Anastasia, I wish I didn't. Don't worry, I got you. Just leave your comment under this live and I will get back to you, okay? Because I know a lot of you guys are right now traveling to Italy, and this video specifically is going to be traveling to Italy in April. So all of your questions about traveling to Italy in April or traveling to Italy in the springtime or just in general, you guys more than welcome to ask me anything pretty much. Looking forward to my first trip to Italy in October. Nice. Connecticut, I love it. Yes, October, just be ready because it is one of the busiest months for traveling to Italy. I don't know which part of Italy you plan on going, but October, well, September and October are two busiest months usually for traveling to Italy. So be ready. It's going to be busy, but weather-wise, it is also probably one of the best months to travel to Italy because the weather usually in September and October usually just a perfection. It's just so nice. I cannot wait for September and October. By the way, let's begin, guys, by talking about the weather. George is saying, what is the best app to use for booking restaurants in Italy? So, guys, remember that Italy is a bit different than obviously, let's say, Canada or US, etc. A lot of times what happens is some really good authentic restaurants, they don't really even have websites, so the only way to make reservation is by calling them. So it just depends where you plan on making the reservations. There are some restaurants that you will have to call them and literally make a reservation by phone. There are some apps like Open Table where you can go and actually make a reservation, be it for a terrace or a restaurant. I actually used Open Table today to make a reservation for one of the terraces. And we will get back to that part because I have to talk about specifically how busy it is right now in Italy and how far in advance you guys actually need to make a reservation in Italy. But I would say it kind of depends. It really, I see all the chats. I'm so excited. I will get back to you guys in a second. I see all your comments, so don't worry. But it will depend on the place pretty much to answer it in general. I would say depending on the restaurant that you want to visit, go see how they prefer to make a reservation. Usually, and I'm going to wrap up that question because I can talk about it forever. Usually you will either have to call them. Sometimes they will ask you to send them an email. For example, there is one restaurant here that I made a reservation to, and the only way they accept a reservation is by sending them an email. Okay, then there are some restaurants where they don't even take reservations. They're so busy, they're so popular, so you just have to kind of show up and wait in line and hope for the best. And then there are restaurants where you can go, for example, like I mentioned previously, to Open Table and make a reservation through Open Table. Okay, so those are 4 different categories, ways, and every restaurant is going to ask something different. So remember, it's a little bit different again than, let's say, from the US, where everything is kind of more generalized. Here, every single thing is very individual and depends on the place. I hope that answers your question. Okay, let me go back and start reading. What did I miss? Let's see. Compared to the UK, is the price of food and transport cheaper or more expensive in Italy? Well, I think it depends where in UK and where in Italy, right? Because we need to be able to see what we're comparing to. Obviously, in bigger cities like Rome, Florence, Milan, etc., things are going to be pretty expensive. Um, Again, depends on where in UK. It's hard for me to tell, but smaller cities, obviously, in Italy are way cheaper than the bigger cities. Bigger cities expect for transportation and restaurants and accommodations to be more expensive than in, let's say, smaller cities, towns in Italy. Bologna to Rome, Florence, back to Bologna, then to where my wife's family is from in Trento. Bologna to Rome, Florence, back to Bologna. Nice, nice. That's a good itinerary. I don't know how many days, but looks nice. Leaving Australia in 3 days for Italy. So nervous and excited. Oh my God, I'm so excited for you. Australia, that's a long travel. Safe travels, fast travels. I'm wishing you for this flight to just pass by like 1 second, because I know it's long, but it's so worth it. I know you're going to have the most amazing time. And it's exciting that you guys can travel again. I can see more and more people from Australia starting to actually travel to Italy. I can hear the Australian accent more and more often on the streets. So I'm excited for you guys. Have the most fabulous time. Do you do tours? Nicholas, yes, there are tours that I just let me know which ones. I don't know which ones, because I do have quite a few tour options. I don't do all of them myself. I have an incredible team who handles some of those tours. I created them myself. And for example, I have amazing food tours that I created many years ago here in Rome. And they truly just kind of perfectly curated guides for those of you who are traveling to Italy and who want to enjoy the most authentic, delicious Roman food. And they literally include everything. If you do a day food tour, it will include breakfast, it will include tasting of some of the best cheeses and meats, street food, lunch, desserts. I mean, you really get to taste the best of what Rome has to offer during the day. And then those people who book my evening tours, it's all about, of course, more relaxing style. So you start with wine tasting of some of the really nice Italian wines, and then you transition into the street food and dinner and dessert. So yes, I do have food tours, which are, again, if you want to experience some of the best food, then definitely check those out. I will make sure to leave the links for you guys down below. Now, if you're talking about private tours of the city, let's say for the sites, then send me an email. They are more customized, more private. And then, of course, shopping experiences that I do personally myself, because those of you guys who are part of my community, you guys know I'm a personal stylist, personal shopper here in Rome. So of course, anything that has to do with styling, with fashion, those are the ones that I handle myself. And again, they're also very customized based on what your needs are. It can be anything from visiting vintage stores to some of the top local boutiques to pretty much bespoke and custom made suits and dresses, etc. So those experiences are very customized, again, depending on your needs, desires, wants, etc. I hope that answers your question. That was a mouthful. All right, let's see. We are in Cortona now. It's stunning, but freezing. Yes, I'm about to start talking about the weather. We did bring layers, but on the warmer day side. Don't make our mistake. Okay, let me pause here so I can address this comment. It's a very good comment, and thank you so much for sharing with the community. Guys, let me tell you, this spring is insane. This is nothing like we normally experience in Italy. It is cold, guys. It is very cold in Italy, unusually cold for this time of the year. Last year, for example, in April, I was already wearing t-shirts, summer dresses. I was laying out in Villa Borghese, having a good time, reading my book, enjoying and getting a little bit of a tan. Guys, it's April 16th and I'm still sitting in my warm sweater and I have zero desire to take it off anytime soon. It is cold, guys. So please be prepared if you're going to be traveling to Italy soon, especially in April, because I also checked the weather for the next week. Not a lot of changes are happening. So make sure to bring layers, 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 layers. Make sure that you're packing for Italy with tons of layering options, and also be prepared that most likely it might rain, which is also so unusual for this time of the year. Usually in April, we have sunshine, blue skies, everything is already blooming. I'm looking outside of my window right now, and usually I already have flowers that are starting to bloom, and nothing, nothing. I don't see anything. It's just green leaves and that's it. So this year, spring is arriving very, very late to Italy. So please, guys, make sure that you're prepared for rain. Make sure, unfortunately, I know, of course, things can change, but right now that's what the forecast says. So make sure that you're preparing for rain. Make sure that you're bringing layers. Make sure that you bring at least one warmer jacket with yourself. I would say even you are not going to be wrong by bringing a few cashmere sweaters, a trench coat, or jeans jacket. Usually, and I actually just filmed a video for you guys for next week. Usually what I recommend, and this is the general rule, this does not apply to this April, I'm just letting you guys know right now, but normally during the first part of spring, you want to bring maybe a nice wool coat, especially at the beginning of spring. You want to bring maybe a trench coat as well, some cashmere sweaters. Then for the second half of spring, you just want to bring a few light blazers, jeans jackets, something to layer, and that will be sufficient. For this specific spring 2023 in Italy, okay, for those of you who will be maybe watching this video next year, this year is different, guys. I cannot believe it. I'm sitting right now looking outside, gray clouds, raining since this morning. Now it stopped, and it's just we cannot get used to this kind of weather. If you are outside, you would hear a lot of Italians constantly walking around complaining. Italians, by the way, are still wearing, a lot of them, they're still wearing heavy coats and scarves and hats, just so you know. So you will see still Italians pretty much in their winter attires. That is how cold April is this year in Italy. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure that I'm preparing you guys, because if you're bringing just t-shirts and shorts, it's too early for shorts anyway, but if you're just bringing t-shirts, guys, please make sure that you're also packing some layers and some heavier things, because guys, you are going to be freezing. So thank you so much for sharing this. All right, let's see, let me go back a little bit. No, it's okay. Best tips to save money while traveling. We'll be in Italy for 2 months, so can afford to splash out the entire time. Yeah, I get it. I actually have a video. If you haven't seen it, I'll make sure to link it down below for you. And it goes into details on how to save money while traveling Italy. I have the entire video. It just packed with great tips on saving while you're traveling, and I think you're going to find it very, very useful. So I will make sure to link it for you in case you want to check it out, and I'm sure you're going to find it very beneficial for your trip. But 2 months, nice. That is the way to do it. All right, let's see. We have not predetermined restaurants. When we saw something we liked, we popped our head in, and they tell you to come back in 20, 30, 60 minutes, and they don't have your table, and they do have your table when you come back. Yeah, that actually works, but it also depends on the months that you will be traveling to. I can tell you right now, the strategy is not going to fly. April, May, and all the way through October, it's packed. If it's a good place. Now, of course, if it's maybe not the best place, then yes, you're right. Sometimes they do have a table for you, but I can tell you, just last week, my friends and I, we wanted to go to a nice restaurant in Monte area, which is by the Coliseum, and we tried to do that same thing, because you're right, sometimes it does work, and they told us, they're like, no, we're completely booked through the entire night. So it does work, but not always. But you're absolutely correct. If you haven't made any reservations and you're passing by, and you know this is a nice place, you wanted to eat there, it's good to take your chances. You have more chance of getting sit down at a restaurant if you show up there without a reservation that trying to make a reservation, because they will tell you no. If you're trying to make a reservation like a day or two in advance, it's not going to work. If you try to just kind of pop there, like you said, then yes, there is a chance that they might have a table for you. For example, I think it was 2 years ago, my family was visiting, and there was just one of my favorite restaurants here in Rome. I really wanted to go there, but I didn't make a reservation, yada, yada. So pretty much we just popped there, like you said. And even though that restaurant is normally booked a month in advance, because we just showed up probably not during the peak time. I don't remember at what time we came, because remember, guys, the dining hours in Italy are between 8:30 all the way until like 11:30 at night. So I think we were there maybe around 7:30, and they said yes, absolutely, even though it was a big group of people. So pretty much, yes, it is possible. So if you did not make any reservation, take a chance, walk in, see if they will be able to kind of give you a table in, like you said, 20, 30, 60 minutes. So that's a good one. I'm drinking tea, guys, so I don't lose my voice, because I know I'm answering a lot of questions and will be answering. So trying to make sure that I won't lose it at some point. Let's see. I feel like Italy. Okay. I feel like Italy is comparable to the UK. London prices were far more affordable this last February than it was even 7 years ago. Oh, that's good to know. I haven't been to London, I would say, good 4 or 5 years, even though London is one of my favorite cities in Europe. 10 days. All right, 10 days. That's a good amount of time. So in 10 days, you're covering Bologna, Rome, Florence. Yeah, that's a really good amount. That is really good amount. I think I wouldn't try to squeeze more than three cities in 10 days. I think that is very, very good amount, especially if you are traveling to those places for the first time. Because just for Rome, and I always say, guys, just for Rome, if this is your first time, you need at least good 4 to 5 days. People who try to squeeze Rome in 1 or 2 days, I'm telling you, it's impossible to see, impossible to get even the feel for the city. And especially sometimes I see people who are on the cruise ships and they come to Rome for just 1 day. Guys, you're going to spend, even just traveling to Rome, at least an hour and a half, 2 hours, and the same back. How are you going to see Rome in 6 hours? it's beyond me. So I really strongly recommend, if any of you will be traveling to Rome for the first time, just kind of really good guidelines. I would say at least 4 days. 4 days. Obviously, a week is ideal, but I get it. When you're traveling to Italy for the first time, of course, especially from the States or Canada, you want to see as much as possible. I totally understand that. But just please, for Rome, guys, if you really want to see Rome and experience it, 4 days, 4 days minimum. All right, let's see. I can tell I get very passionate about talking about Rome. Let's see. We intend to visit the Amalfi Coast in April. Would that be a good month? Well, Amalfi Coast is very seasonal, guys. So it's not like Rome or Florence where everything is just open year round. Amalfi Coast is seasonal. So even though that is the beginning of their season, I would say your experience might be a bit different in April than I would say at the end of May. It's definitely not going to be warm yet to swim. So probably most of the beach clubs are still going to be closed, but Amalfi Coast is gorgeous. It depends what you're going there for. If you're going for the views, to do like, some hikes, yes, absolutely. If you want to enjoy the nightlife and the restaurants and the beach clubs, I wouldn't go in April. So it depends what you're going to Amalfi Coast for. I personally, I love to swim. So for me, if I'm going to Amalfi Coast, that's what I'm going in mind with. I have to swim. Otherwise, it's a torture for me to see water and not be able to get in. So I cannot do this to myself. Okay, let's see. I appreciate your videos. I've learned a lot. I'm so happy to hear that. So happy to hear that, guys. That is the goal of all of my videos, to give you as much information as possible for you to travel to Italy and just be equipped and feel like somewhat of a local when you're here. Absolutely. I'm so glad. 2024. All right, Marika. It's going to be here before you know it. Bravo, boss. Oh, Smith. I hope you're feeling better. Smith, guys, is my assistant and he is incredible and he hasn't been feeling well. So let's send him all the positive, beautiful energy and wish him a quick recovery. How do we book your food tours? So I will leave a link for you guys in the description down below. As soon as I'm done with this live, I will leave you the links so you guys can go and book those food tours. I promise they will be there. Let's see. It will be our first time to Europe in October. We are from Canada and they're looking forward to our Rome visit. Are there public laundry facilities in Rome? Yes, there are public laundry facilities in Rome. Depends on which area of the city you guys will be staying in. Just Google it and it will give you the options. Also, of course, there is dry cleaning, which those of you guys who know me, I dry clean everything. It's a habit that I just kind of adopted from the States. And there are also a lot of dry cleaning facilities, but just so you guys know, dry cleaning in Italy is way more expensive than in the States. So well, of course, yes, it depends where. If we're comparing to New York, no, but on average, let's say it's way more expensive. But yes, there are tons of laundry facilities. Just Google laundry facility near me and it will give you plenty of options. All right, let's see. Catherine says, agreed. I was in Rome for Holy Week last year and I needed a light jacket in the morning, but short sleeves were fine during the day. Yes, exactly. And that's why, guys, a lot of times I always say, if you're coming to, we're not talking about this year, but in general, to Rome or to Italy in April, I would say a light jacket, a light blazer is going to be perfect. And you will see a lot of women and men in Europe, they rock those blazers all day, every day, because I think blazers are excellent. Not only they will elevate your look, but also you can wear one in the morning. Let's say you're wearing a t-shirt, you put on a blazer, and there we go, you are not cold. Then during the day, as the sun comes out, hopefully this century then you guys can take the blazer off, and then in the evening time you can put one on and look nice and put together the for the evening time, and at the same time you are not going to be cold. So blazers, I think they are fantastic. Definitely bring a few with you or a couple, and you can bring casual blazers and also dressier ones for the evening time. Definitely blazers in Europe are all right. Let's see. I recently returned from an amazing 2 weeks in Rome, Florence, Venice, Murano, Burano. I love it. Weather was accepted. Layering was key. Okay. The food was exceptional, so fresh and so delicious. Grazie. All right, that's a lot of places. I love it. So you really got to experience Italy: Rome, Florence, Venice, Murano and Burano, which are excellent trips to take from Venice, guys. If you are looking for something to do, those maybe mini day trips from Venice, those are excellent, and you can guess obviously Burano vases. It's so beautiful, and even the places themselves, they're so colorful, so beautiful for pictures. Yeah, those are great trips to take. And I'm so glad that, I hope from what I understand, that the weather was actually good, so you did not get this kind of weather, and that the food was exceptional. I'm so happy to hear that. So happy that you had a good trip to Italy. All right, let's see. If coming to Rome in August, are most of the tourist locations open due to Italians going on vacation? That's a great question. So, pretty much in the past, guys, a lot of things and places in Rome were, or in general in Italy, were closed during August. Nowadays, things changed. So, most of the time, you will be able to find most places open, and I'm talking about sites and restaurants and tours, etc. Yes, some of them will be closed, so not everything is going to be open in August like it is in other months of the year, but comparing to even 7 years ago, definitely more places are opened. Now, it also, we have to talk about when in August. I would say the worst time to come to August, guys, is the middle of August. So if you could avoid the middle of August, definitely, probably the worst time to come to Italy, because in the middle of August they have one of their biggest holidays of the year, Ferragosto. So for that particular week, that, I mean, that just, everything is going to be closed. So I would recommend to avoid middle of August. And then the first week of August, yes, it's not ideal. Again, guys, I always talk about in all of my videos to try to avoid August, but I know some of you just can't because of work or because of kids. I get it. So if you cannot avoid August, then I would recommend coming either the first week of August or the last week of August, probably even best, because a lot of places are already going to be reopened. It's not going to be as hot. A lot of locals are going to start coming back from their holidays. So I would say out of all the weeks in August, last week of August is probably the best one. Okay. But again, remember that comparing to many years ago, August is actually still a lot more places are open in August still comparing to 7 years ago. Lost my train of thought. All right, let's see. Ciao Salvo, come stai? All right, let's see. Patty says, we want to stay at a boutique type hotel, but those that we like don't have laundry services. We're looking in the central Monte area and we'll be in Rome for 5 days. Yeah, that's always an issue. I get it. Yeah, if you Google in Monte, if you Google laundry facilities in Monte, I'm sure that you will be able to find some. I actually lived in Monte for 3 years. Of course, I did have, because it was an apartment, I did have washing machine and everything, but I know for sure that you'll be able to find laundry facilities in Monte. Let's see, Nancy says, buongiorno bella, buongiorno Nancy, grazie, tanti auguri da Canada. Canada! Sending you so much love back. All right, let's see. Mercedes says, can we buy the train tickets to Brindisi with credit card, Europe or cash? So you mean if you can use credit card to buy, or US cash? No, US cash, no, for sure not. I had to reread it a couple of times to make sure. No, guys, US cash, no. So euros, euros. We're in Italy, but you can definitely use your credit cards and crank up those points, which is always good. So definitely use your credit cards. And I always say, guys, since we're talking about cash, just make sure that you're not bringing a lot of cash with you, because you can always withdraw cash that you need at the ATM machines. Just please remember, guys, and I talked about it in one of my recent videos about Rome. Just make sure that you're not using those standalone ATMs or ATMs that are attached to kiosk or the ATMs at the airports. Make sure that you always use bank ATMs that are attached to the bank or inside the bank. Okay, and then you will be able to get as much cash as you want. Now, I would also check with your bank, guys, back home. For example, my bank, obviously all my banking is in the States, and my bank actually, every time I withdraw money at the foreign ATM, it reimburses me for that withdrawal. So I would also check with your bank to see if your bank does something like this. So anytime you withdraw money from the ATM, whatever that bank charges you to withdraw the money, let's say normally it's about like €5, make sure that your bank reimburses you for that. I think that's actually very nice. But I would not be bringing cash with you, guys. I would not. It's just, honestly, there is no need for a lot of cash here. And also, I wouldn't carry that cash around with you, guys. I would just withdraw as much as necessary, and that's it. All right, let's see that it says, thank you. What are some reasonably priced, high quality restaurants in Rome that are not tourist traps? I visited Bologna, Rome, and Naples next week. So I actually have, for all my Patreon community, I go into recommendations for specific restaurants and tours and wine tastings and all of that. So on my Patreon page, I will make sure to link it for you guys down below. For my Patreon community, I have all those recommendations for you guys, as far as the hotels in different areas, restaurants, etc., etc. So you can find all the specific recommendations there. All right, George says, coming to Rome April 27th, May 2nd. Good time, good time. So excited and appreciate all your videos. We booked your evening food tour on the 28th. Looking forward to it. All right, George. Yes, I know. I I remember. I already checked the calendar for this week. So you definitely I definitely remember, and you definitely will have a great time. I'm so excited to welcome you in Rome. So Nana says, we are staying in Lazio. When does the high-speed train stop running when we go to Venice? When do we need to be back? What time does this train stop running? I'm trying to understand. Are you talking about what is until the latest time that that you can get tickets for, as far as the timing? You're just afraid to be stuck in Venice? I would check. I would go to any train, like Trainline, for example, website, or any train website, and see what is the latest tickets that they have available for the day. If it makes any sense, probably not, but I would check with on that particular day, that particular train. I would check to see what are your options, because I don't know it really will depend, again, like I said, on the destination, on the time of the day, on availability for that day. One thing I can tell you guys, that Italy is packed with tourists right now, so I would be booking everything in advance, including your train tickets. Let's see, booked couple of tours online for underground Colosseum and Vatican City. That's nice. That's nice. Yeah, it's, and talking about this, guys, this is actually a good transition for my second point. Italy right now is packed with tourists, which is very expected, obviously, for this time of the year. But you guys know what that means, because I talk about it in a lot of my videos. That means that everything is booked. We're talking about restaurants, tours, sightseeing, accommodations, everything, guys, is booked out. So again, I always say, but I just want to stress this again, guys, please don't wait until you arrive to Italy to start booking those things, because you're not going to find anything. Like I said, a few days ago, I called to book a place for a restaurant, and it was booked 1 month in advance, all booked out completely. Then I wanted to book, because my mom is arriving next week, and I want to take her to one of my favorite terraces in Rome, and also they're booked out almost 2 weeks in advance. So meaning you have to book things in advance, guys. Please do. Same goes for tours, because I see so many people getting disappointed. Even my tours are pretty much all booked out already, and it's important, guys, for you to make those plans just as far in advance as possible. Just please, you will save yourself so much disappointment if you don't wait until the last minute, because it is busy right now in Italy. Very, very busy. And there is one point that I wanted to make. I have it all written down. Oh, those of you who message me sometimes and say, Anastasia, I have a hard time getting tickets to the Colosseum or tickets to Vatican, for example. So a lot of times what happens now, unfortunately, there are third parties that buy out all those tickets from Colosseum, from Vatican museums, etc. So they kind of send bots, to be honest, and they buy out all those tickets. So a lot of times, if you cannot find tickets for those sites, then go to third party, and you will be able to find tickets there. And that is why a lot of times, guys, underneath most of my videos, you have links to specific tickets, because I get so many requests and questions for tickets, be it to Vatican museums, be it to the Colosseum, and etc., etc. Obviously, we have so many sites. But if you cannot find tickets available, I would go to third party, or I would look underneath my videos, click on those links, and you will be able a lot of times find tickets that way, because I know a lot of people are actually having difficult time finding tickets, especially during the very busy season. So looking at third-party websites, not always, but a lot of times, that's going to kind of solve that issue for you guys. All right, where did we leave off? Rome in May and stay near Campo de Fiore. Can you recommend us good trattoria? Claudette, that's all in, again, on my Patreon website. You have tons of specific recommendations for Campo de Fiore, because yes, Campo de Fiore is a great area, has a lot of really nice restaurants. Fortunately, also some tourist traps, but Campo de Fiore is a great area. You are central to everything, and it's very walkable. You're next to Piazza Navona, Trastevere is across the street. So you will be, yeah, the location is fantastic. So you will definitely be enjoying it. But yeah, if you need specific recommendations as far as trattorias and restaurants and everything in between, on my Patreon website, you'll be able to find everything. All right, let's see. My husband wants to know if he should wear only long pants. Oh, and a shirt, of course. He wears shorts year round. Well, it's it's chilly right now. It's really chilly. I don't see a lot of people wearing shorts, to be honest. And I think I know we joke about it a lot, but I think that is the quickest way to say and to see if someone is from Italy or not is by what they're wearing. Like I said, Italians right now are still in their pretty much winter attires. So I'm not saying to, of course, bring warm jackets and hats and scarves, but I think it would be a little bit too early for shorts right now. But obviously you can bring a pair, but I wouldn't bring more than that. You most likely you will be wearing pants and jeans pretty much the entire time. I mean, it is cold, guys. It's really cold. I'm looking outside. I cannot believe we're in April. This is unbelievable. I think maybe 1 year, about 6 years ago, that I can remember weather like this in Rome, but this is unbelievable. Okay, so let's see. The voice. One moment, guys. I don't want it to go. Okay. Eddie says, going in late September, how are the crowds and what is the weather like at this time? Thank you for this informative stream. You're very welcome, first of all, Eddie. Second, I talked about it briefly at the beginning of the video. So September is actually one of the busiest months for Italy. So be prepared, number one, for big crowds. It's going to be very, very crowded. Most things are going to be more expensive than usual. Some accommodations I know go up about 3 times in price for that time of the year. So if you're planning on coming to in September, book everything in advance. So it's going to be crowded, it's going to be more expensive, but at the same time, you will also get one of the really best seasons in a sense of weather-wise. September is absolutely perfect. Again, you never know this year, but usually on average, September is a wonderful month weather-wise. And a lot of people love traveling to Italy in September and October because one, weather, and two, a lot of people think that the busiest months of the year for Italy are usually summer months. And then people think that in September and October, not a lot of people are going to travel to Italy because everyone travels in the summertime, and that is what everyone assumes. And then they come to Italy and it's just completely packed. So you are going to have a great time. It's a wonderful time to visit, but just be prepared for higher prices and big crowds. All right, Maureen says, hi, Anastasia. My sister and I are coming to Rome in September, and your videos have been so helpful. I'm always so happy when I see a new video of yours pop up. Thank you, Maureen. I'm so, so grateful. More videos to come, guys. More videos to come. And I'm excited. I love doing them for you so much. It's really, it's one of my biggest passions, creating those videos for you guys. All right, let's see. Janet says, good to see you. It's a great live stream. Yay! Thank you, Janet. Let's see. It will be our first time in Rome in mid-May. Already have all of our tours booked for Vatican and Colosseum. Should we also see Villa Borghese if we have time? Okay, yes. The short answer is yes. And I'm talking about not only Villa Borghese. You have to remember, guys. So there is Villa Borghese, which is a park. It's one of our most famous parks in Rome, Villa Borghese. It's kind of like, I always give a comparison of the Central Park in New York. It's kind of like that. So we have a beautiful lake. We have even a zoo inside. Not that you will be going to the zoo, but just for your information. It also has just beautiful scenery, fountains. You can walk around, you can have a picnic there. I mean, it's absolutely stunning. And Villa Borghese, it used to be a private park, guys. So centuries ago, you weren't even allowed to enter that place. I mean, can you imagine you walking around the spaces where only very prominent people in Rome used to be able to enter, and now it's all yours. And I don't know, for me, Villa Borghese is my favorite place in Rome. I go there for, I always say, I really go there for everything, guys. It's kind of my, I don't know, my mental escape. It's my just place to re-energize, to reflect. I go for runs there and I meditate and everything. I love Villa Borghese. So I would definitely recommend for you to visit Villa Borghese. Also in Villa Borghese, we have Punto Pincio, which is a terrace. Oh my God, the sun is coming out. Hallelujah. That's incredible, guys. I don't know if you can see the light changing, but so pretty much in Villa Borghese, we have Punto Pincio, which is a terrace from where we have one of the best views on entire Rome. So definitely make sure to go there. Yes, it does get very crowded during the day, but if you go there in the late evening or early morning, you're going to have the entire terrace to yourself. So it's actually really wonderful. And now, the second point that I wanted to make is that in Villa Borghese, you also have Borghese Gallery, which is one of probably my favorite galleries in entire Rome. And I strongly recommend for you guys to visit Borghese Gallery. Villa Borghese is free. Obviously, it's a park. You just walk in and you're more than welcome to roam around and experience it. Now, for Borghese Gallery, guys, which is a very famous gallery, you will need tickets. And in one of my hidden gems, I don't remember if it's hidden gem part 1 or hidden gem part 2. I think part 2. I cover, now I cannot see anything. Thanks. I'm trying to see and I can't see anything because of the sun, but I hope you guys can see me. That's the most important. So Villa Borghese Gallery, actually, guys, is incredible. I would definitely recommend for you to see it. Now, you will need to get tickets in advance because it is quite famous gallery, and I think you're allowed 2 hours per visit. So when you're booking, it's going to tell you, okay, your visit is from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. or from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. or from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., etc. So your visits are it's a 2-hour visits, but strongly recommend. And you can really make the entire experience out of it. You can go to Villa Borghese, you can wander around, enjoy the park, even have a picnic, and then after that you can go to the Borghese Gallery and enjoy the gallery for a couple of hours. And trust me, guys, you will not regret it. People who've done it, they always share with me that it was one of the best things that they've done. So I strongly recommend for you guys to enjoy Villa Borghese and Borghese Gallery. Okay, let's see. Next, I can't see anything. My God, I'm definitely not complaining about the sun, guys. This is great. I just can't see anything. Have you been to the Papal Audiences events? Does it get rowdy? I've never been for that particular reason. I know it gets pretty crazy, and I don't know. When you live in Rome, guys, it's different. It's like, there are people, like, for example, my parents live in New York, and like for my mom, like Times Square is not a big deal. Same here, when you see, like Coliseum or something every single day, yes, obviously you're still wowed by its beauty, but it's not something as big of a deal. Like, for example, I know people who are from Rome and they've never been inside the Coliseum, believe it or not, never. So I never tried, not something that really kind of interested me to do ever. So maybe in the future for you guys, I will do it, but it's not something, again, that is a priority on my list. But I heard that it gets pretty rowdy and crowdy. All right, okay, no, the next one. Grazie for answering my questions. I'm going to see if my daughter and I can book a shopping tour with you. We will leave my husband behind, though. Of course, of course. Leave the men behind. They trust me. You don't want to suffer them through this experience, but of course, I will be happy to go shopping with you guys. Yes, and it's funny. That's what I see all the time. Every time I have shopping clients, usually husband just walks his wife to the meeting point, pretty much just hands her to me, says, "Have fun, guys," and then he leaves, and then he has his own time. And I think it's actually great because you guys, you can kind of have a break from each other during the trip, and at the same time, both of you get to do whatever you enjoy doing, actually. So, can you do the apartment tour? I know I promised you guys to do an apartment tour, and I haven't done it. And all I can say, those of you who watched my videos, I think not last year, but the year before, you guys know I went through 4 or 5 months of finding this place because I really wanted to make sure that I find the most perfect place for myself, because I work a lot from home, obviously. So for me, home is everything, and ambience in general, guys. I'm very big on, no matter where I go, be it hotels or restaurants, I do pay a lot of attention to where I stay. So I really wanted the apartment to feel like home, and it took me a long time to find one, and I couldn't be happier with it. I love every single day waking up here. It's this apartment is just speaks to my soul. I'm so happy with it, and I know I promised to give you guys a tour of it, and I keep postponing it. I really don't have a good reason why. I haven't had a chance to film it for you guys. I always think I'm gonna do it, and then I come up with a different topic for the video, and then it always kind of gets put on the back burner, so to speak. What about recommendations for some good retail therapy? There are a lot, guys, and it depends which part of Italy and where in Rome, because obviously there are a lot of places here that are, unfortunately, are stores that are made for tourists. But of course, there are some incredible stores, like artisan stores, where you can still find bags that are made by hand inside the store. Or you can go to local boutiques with all made in Italy brands, but not those high-end brands that you can get back home. Those true made in Italy authentic brands, and trust me, you can find some incredible things in there. So that's why a lot of people who come to Italy, they do personal styling, personal shopping experience with me, because they do want to find the best of Italy when it comes to clothes or shoes or accessories or bags. It's really worth it, and the prices are incredible comparing to the States, because I actually do a lot of personal shopping and styling in the US as well, like, let's say, New York. And when I see prices for made in Italy stuff in New York, it always it always pains me that my clients get to spend that much. That's why over the years they kind of realized that it is much better for me to shop for them here in Italy, and then to send everything to them back in the States, because it just so much better price wise and quality wise, and just it's much better option. All right, let's see. Ciao bella, saluti da Roma. Ciao Viaggio, come stai? Qualche tempo fa ho fatto un'iscrizione al tuo canale. Grazie. Welcome to the channel. All right. Semi says, Salve. How far in advance should I book train tickets on Trenitalia from city to city? For example, regional trains. Grazie infinite. Semi, it honestly, again, it depends. And I know I stress out this fact a lot, but I have to. It depends when you will be traveling, and also how popular the destinations are. For example, trains, let's say from Rome to Naples, they run, I think it's like every 30 minutes or an hour. So there are a lot of options. If you want to go to nearby towns, for example, about 2 weeks ago, I got all dressed up for you guys, because I was planning on filming a video. I was planning to go to a nearby place. Which one was I planning on going? It wasn't, I don't remember. It was one of the nearby towns. I wanted to film it for you guys. I will. It's still it's still happening. And so, because I thought, well, who's gonna go there? It's I'm sure people would be going there, but not too many. I will get to the train station and get a ticket there. No, guys, they were all booked out. So I had to readjust my plans and go and film something different for you. But that actually taught me that buying in advance tickets, it's necessary, especially during the busy season. So I would book in advance. Again, it depends on where you're going, but I would start looking at least maybe like 2-3 weeks ahead of time, just to make sure, just to kind of give you a peace of mind that you have tickets. Because like I said, a lot of times if you travel to a popular destination, all you have to do is just show up at the train station, buy a ticket, and you will be able, in 30 minutes to an hour, to be on that train and head into whatever destination you chose. But if it's not too popular of a destination and just happen to be a busy weekend or whatever, you might be able to there is a chance you will come to the train station and you will be disappointed, like I was very looking forward to film that video for you. So, but I will. My mom is arriving, so we probably will travel together with her, and she'll help me film the video for you guys, because I want to share with you some nearby towns that you guys can do day trips from Rome to. There are a lot of beautiful places around Rome. And if this is, let's say, your second time in Rome, or you have a little bit more time, maybe you're staying here for a week, I would definitely recommend to explore nearby towns, because they're beautiful. They're just so charming and unique. And it's very easy just hopping on the train and going there, as long as you book the train in advance. All right, let's see. Bene, io vivo ad Ostia Antica. All right, capisco poco inglese. All right, let's see. Katerina says, I heard that tickets on Italo are cheaper if you book earlier, and they get more expensive as cheaper seats sell out, like airplanes. Interesting. I haven't heard that, Katrina, but it makes sense. Yeah. All right. Nana says, does the high-speed train have tickets you can buy for like a 2-week pass? I don't think so, Nana. To be honest, I've never been asked that question, and I haven't done proper research on it. But I don't think so. I don't think so. But again, don't take my word for it. I would do a research. Sammy says, grazie. Yes, I will be in Naples, heading to Pompeii, and definitely be in Rome. Nice. Nice, guys. By the way, those of you who are hesitating to do Pompeii or not, do it. It's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. A lot of people always ask me, Anastasia, is Pompeii worth it? Yes, absolutely. And especially if you get yourself a nice tour guide. And I heard a lot of Pompeii tour guides are really, really good and definitely worth it. It's a very unique and beautiful experience. And let me know, guys, if you want me to film this for you. I can travel to Pompeii and do kind of the experience, so you get to see how it's done. But obviously you have to see it with your own eyes at some point. But if you want to kind of send me there first as investigator, show you what you would be signing up for, let me know. I don't mind going and filming that video for you. Of course, I'll do that sacrifice. I'll go to Pompeii, guys, for a day. I will film that video. All right, let's see. Ho visto alcuni tuoi film, beautiful. Grazie, grazie. Yes, Eva, piacere. I did a multi-day pass on your rail. Look to see if that includes Italy. Interesting. Yeah. Maybe they done some kind of option nowadays that allow you to do so, but I personally, I haven't heard. So let's see what I want to mention for you guys, just to make sure I cover everything. Oh, one thing, guys, some of you ask me if terraces are already opened. Terraces, most of them have been reopened, because terraces in Rome are quite seasonal. So some of them stay open the entire year. Some of them actually close for the winter. Most of the terraces already reopened, and some of them will be reopening end of April. Just so you know, if you plan on booking terrace in Rome, most of them, they've been reopened, even though they haven't had much luck with all this rain. And a lot of times, if obviously it rains, then they just close down the entire place. So you can't, if you think of this kind of romantic idea of sitting under the rain in a terrace in Rome, probably not going to happen. And one more thing that I want to mention, guys, about trains, by the way, before I forget. Some of you, what happens is, some of you ask me if you should be booking activities on the same day as you arrive somewhere. For example, if you are arriving from Naples to Rome, and that same day you are wondering if you should be booking a tour, you can, but I would give yourself plenty of time in between you arriving to Rome and the tour. Because what happens sometimes, not always, is that trains run late. So if you have a tour, if you arrive from Naples, let's say at 3 o'clock, don't schedule a tour for 4 or even for 5 o'clock, because there is a chance that your train is going to be late and then you're going to miss a tour. So if you do book a tour the same day of your arrival on the train, then make sure that you're giving yourself plenty of time just in case, because it did happen in the past. And for food tours, for example, for my food tours, sometimes what happens is, um, and thank God people always ask in advance, but what happens, sometimes they book it too close and then they're running late. And a lot of times I always recommend to give yourself plenty of time. So if you are, and it doesn't matter which tour you do, be it obviously side tour or food tour or whatever tour you guys are doing, just give yourself plenty of time between the time of your arrival on the train and the tour. Because it doesn't happen often, but it does happen that the train is going to run late. Okay, so just letting you know, guys. I know it's a very kind of microscopic tip, but it does make a difference, especially if you are on a tight schedule. Just make sure that you guys are aware of that. All right, let's see. Heading to Rome in May, how far in advance should we book restaurants for dinner, and any recommendations? So for May, I would start booking right now. If it's a good place, I would start booking already. Absolutely. Again, the example, I was booking a place, and it was almost maybe 4 days ago, I called to make a reservation and I said, how about April 30th? And they're like, nope. I said, May 1st? They said, nope, fully booked. So I was able to get it for May 2nd, but that was almost a week ago, and we're still in April. So for May, book everything in advance. And like I said, Catherine, you can go to my Patreon page, and there you will be able to find tons of specific recommendations when it comes to restaurants. We'll be in Rome for the month of May. Excited to explore Rome like a local. Oh my God, the entire month? That's incredible. That's amazing. Amazing. Wow. That's, yeah. Yeah, that's Rome in, I'm reading all of your comments, making sure, guys, I didn't miss any. Rome in May is so special. And I just truly hope that the weather is going to turn around and is going to be, again, just beautiful blue skies and sunshine. They actually already put flowers, guys, on the Spanish Steps. They're not blooming yet, but they are getting ready to bloom. So those of you who will be traveling to Rome soon, right now or in May, you guys are in for a treat, because in May, Rome is special. Everything is blooming, the weather usually is fantastic, and you can just feel the spring in the air. It's so wonderful. I'm excited for your trip for sure. All right, making sure that I covered everything. I think I did. One last thing, guys. And I can say that I was surprised to get this question because I understand we've been in the, you know, kind of in this thing for a couple of years, but there are no more restrictions when it comes to traveling to Italy. So you don't need your certificates, you don't need any documentation. You literally just need your passports and tickets. That's it. That's all you need to travel to Italy. You don't need any other extra documents, because a lot of people are still asking me, are there any travel restrictions in 2023 for Italy? And thank God, guys, there are none. And you can just travel to Italy freely with no extra documentation. So I just wanted to address that, because I think some people watch my older videos and they think maybe they don't look at the date, and they ask me if there are still travel restrictions in Italy, and there are no more travel restrictions. All right, let's see. How is June weather? We're coming on June 5th to June 15th. Oh, this year, who knows? But let me just, I'll speak in general terms. Usually in June, it starts getting hot already, hot and humid, but the beginning of June is still very, very nice. So you should be fine, but typically it's already hot. So definitely when you're packing for Italy, in June, just make sure that obviously you bring in a lot of t-shirts and definitely shorts at that point, summer dresses, etc. Fingers crossed. But I mean, I can imagine June to be cold in Italy. I mean, anything is possible at this point, but June is especially at the beginning, it's nice. Then towards the end of June, that when it gets really hot, really humid. So yeah, summer is not my favorite time to be in Rome. July and August especially. And you guys know that. I always escape to Greece during that time of the year. All right, let's see. Spanish Steps. I'm excited. I'll be staying in that area in a couple of weeks. Yes, it's wonderful. Spanish Steps. It's not a secret, guys. Spanish Steps is definitely one of my favorite areas in Rome. It is very clean, safe. It's beautiful. It's very central to pretty much everything and anything in Rome. So those of you who are kind of wondering where to stay, I definitely recommend Spanish Steps. The only downside to Spanish Steps that it is one of the most expensive areas. So a lot of Airbnbs and hotels, etc., are more expensive comparing to other parts. But also Piazza Navona is quite expensive as well, and Pantheon kind of also in between. If you're looking for more budget type of places, I would say either Trastevere, Monte area, or you can even look a little bit outside of the Centro Storico, the historic center, and there obviously the accommodations are going to be way more affordable. Places like, for example, Garbatella. If you get a place in Garbatella and very close, in close proximity to metro, then you guys, it's going to be so easy for you to kind of navigate your way from Garbatella to the city center, explore during the day, enjoy, and then leave for the evening time. All right, let's see. Doing good, guys. Covering a lot of ground today. Let's see. We'll be there in 5 days. Very excited. I'm so excited for you, Rhonda. So excited. Yes. It's going to be a wonderful trip, I'm sure. How can it be not? It's Italy, right? All right, guys, I think I covered everything. We are 1 hour and 8 minutes in. I cannot believe I talked for 1 hour and 8 minutes. Last questions. Last call for all the questions, guys, before I go, because I want to start working on the next video for you guys. So, and sorry for the light. Now I know, kind of like now all stripes going this way on my sweater, and then there's stripes going in the light. I know I look like a zebra at this point. Let's see. What's something that you think most people don't know or won't expect? Oh, Nicholas, I have so many videos on that. I don't want to refer you completely to my videos every time, but there are definitely lots of videos, like, the don'ts of Italy and Rome and all of this, and a lot of culture shocks. I actually have, I think, 2 or 3 videos on the culture shocks in Italy. So if you really want to see it with the visual examples, then definitely um, check those out, because I do go into a lot of details as far as shocking things and surprising things and unexpected things of being in Italy or living in Italy. A lot of times I I expand a lot on that topic. But yeah, there's so many, honestly, especially when you live here. I actually just had Pasqua, Easter, with all my fellow American expats, and we were talking about how different it is living in the States versus living here in Italy, because so many things that you don't even think when you live about, when you let me trace my thought back. There are so many things you don't think about when you live in the US. When you start living in the other country, you're like, wow, things are done so differently. You just never expect for those kind of things, because when you live, let's say, in the US, it's obviously so different. All right, let's see. We will be coming to Rome on Thursday. Love your videos. Oh, thank you, Mia. I'm so happy to hear that. Thursday, I'm thinking, let me check the weather for you. I'm so concerned with the weather for you guys. I want you to have the best time. Okay, Thursday, we're good. We're good. Should be good. No rain, at least that. So fingers crossed the rain part is over. I hope so. I hope so. You should guys see right now, it's the sun is out, beautiful skies. Ah, this is what Rome is about. Don't go away, sunshine. Just stay here. Okay. Mia, have the most amazing time. Enjoy every moment of your trip. Enjoy it. Um So Eva says that a Pasqua a Roma sono arrivati 300.000 turisti. So based on that information, to Rome, for Easter, there are 300,000 tourists that arrive to Rome for Easter. Just pack in one denim jacket. Yeah, Mia, I would do that. And maybe, again, not that I'm trying to promote blazers, but I would maybe pack also a blazer if you have one casual or one evening blazer, just something to wear on top for the, maybe even for the evening time. All right, guys, any last questions? And then we're gonna wrap it up so I can go and work on the next video for you. The next video is going to be on the wardrobe, on the spring wardrobe, what to pack. I'm gonna give you the detailed packing list, guys, actually what to pack for Europe. And I'm gonna break it down for the first half of the spring and the second half of the spring. So last questions, guys. Anything going once, going twice? Guys, I'm so happy that we got to catch up and chat, and I really hope that you found this live useful, beneficial. I tried to give you as many examples as possible, as much information as possible. Let's see. Me and my boyfriend Nick love watching your videos. Thank you so much for all the amazing content. My pleasure. My pleasure. Makes me so happy. You're very welcome. And guys, those of you who see me walking around Rome, I love that you're stopping me. I love that you're saying hello. Please never stop. I genuinely enjoy meeting you. Don't worry if you're interrupting my phone conversations or my conversations. I always love meeting you, truly. It makes me so happy. So if you see me running around the town, because usually that's what I do, I still have that American feel that I need to run around. I can't just walk like a normal person in Rome. If you see me running around, stop me, say hello. I love, love, love meeting you guys, and you're amazing. I truly, guys, I have the best community in the world. I feel so blessed, and thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being a part of this community, part of this channel. I promise to continue, guys, giving you tons of new, informative, exciting content for years to come. I'm not going anywhere. And I'm wishing you the most beautiful Sunday. Those of you who are planning on traveling to Italy soon, safe travel, guys. Safe travels. Have the most incredible time. Enjoy. You're in Italy. Forget about everything. This is your time to enjoy. All right, guys, I love you, and I'll talk to you in the next live, and I'll see you in the next videos, and I will make sure to leave those links that I promised right now. Okay. All right. Bye, guys.